What up, y'all? This is Jamba here with another video. So, I don't even know who this content creator is. His name is Controversial Shannon. I'm not sure if he's going to do some commentary. I really don't know. Um, but that being said, what I'm going to kind of dig into is there's this content creator named No Fugazi. I forget the guy. David Cooley's his name. Now, David Cooley, for those of you who don't know, he's just a creator of a podcast called the No Fugazi podcast. I've seen a few of his clips, and he is kind of part of the manosphere a little bit. Yeah, I would kind of almost say so. He talks a lot about dating, talks a lot about being a high value man. A lot of those kind of pseudo Kevin Samuels esque talking points. He kind of goes a little bit further, talking about how notably that single mothers are for recreational use, and you got to be high value, and women they inflate their self. It's a lot of, if you've seen some of their stuff, you've kind of seen them all to a certain degree. Now, I've seen this guy's stuff, and I've been um a little iffy on his post, only because, well, we'll dig into this one. So basically, in this clip, I believe, I could be wrong. Again, there might be some commentary from the actual content. The guy who and he got 8,000, almost 9,000 subscribers. So shout out to him. But this guy is going to go back and forth with a woman, a black woman. And I've seen the clip where basically this black woman kind of criticizes David Cooley on on let's just see. I'm describing it before I just play the damn video. But let's see, and I'm gonna give obviously some my commentary as we move along.
And just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
You believe you're
Hold on.
Day women just don't qualify for the top
Modern day women don't qualify for the top tier.
tier men, and that is the truth.
you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that. If you add that on.
Okay, there's already some problems there. Okay, I'm a 6'7" guy. Now, I'm not gonna be just walking around here talking about I'm a top tier man just because of my height. When, even though, yes, that is something that women do value, we can't act like they don't. It is, look, most of the women I've gotten is basically because of my height. It ain't because of my, it's, Anyways, so he is correct in that is something that women look for. But for that to be the first thing that you say is what makes you top tier, I think it's kind of lame, because you didn't have anything to do with you being tall. Now, if he started off with his money, maybe his career, maybe some of his habits, maybe his housing situation, maybe his hobbies. Hell, I would even go with, how much he can bench press, or how much he can squat, or if he's a can he fight? How many does he have a black belt in jujitsu or something like that, or his property, his cryptocurrency wallet, like stocks, and other assets and things of that nature. Like, if he kind of started off with those things, then that's a much better look, as opposed to starting off with the height. And then he ended it off with, I'm black at that. And again, being black is another thing that you didn't have anything to do with. But I'm gonna rewind it a little bit, but I'm gonna continue it just for the first minute. Well, I'm probably gonna stop the video before then. Let's be honest.
I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that. If you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
And with
Wow. So a lot of croutons in that bullshit salad that she just said. Now, it is not. We're gonna have to rewind this. 75% of what she said had to do with the woman and had to do with catering to the woman. Not that you shouldn't to a degree, but I'll be damned if you judge a top tier man based on, yeah, it's just very self-serving. That's like if like imagine if I said a high quality woman makes sure that her man is well fed, make sure that her man has his balls drained, make sure that her man is confident and is secure, make sure like what makes a person top tier, it doesn't has too much to do with how she's affecting any other person, not necessarily. This is why I hesitate we when women try to define what makes a top tier man or a masculine man. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I asked her, "Okay, what's the difference? What is masculinity to you?" And she was talking about, like, I'm not going to get all into the conversation because we were talking about this, but oftentimes when women try to define what makes a man, it's really about how it's servicing her. And I don't think that men should necessarily judge. Like, okay, for example, like I think one of the things that makes a top tier woman is her relationship with God, right? He's calling me. Oh. Is her relationship with God, her relationship with her family, her having hobbies. It's like, so that doesn't have much to do with another man. That has everything to do with her and her being secure with her and herself and her having a good prayer life and her having a good family and confidence and skill sets for her. And then because she's fulfilled, she's able to then be able to serve a man and to work with a man and to build with a man. But I'm gonna rewind here a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of break this down just a bit.
Of the mouth of someone like you, I would.
Now, obviously, I don't have the context of the conversation beforehand, so I can't really touch on whether or not she's being accurate when she's of what she's saying about him specifically. But let's
never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character.
The problem with being first of all, let's just be honest. Most women are not necessarily, I'm just being honest, ladies. Y'all are not necessarily attracted to a man because of his character. Like character, and that's something that men had to learn the hard way. We had to learn that the guys who are the most desirable by women oftentimes don't have the best character. Matter of fact, oftentimes you having great character makes you less desirable in more cases than you will be more desirable. Now you are going to be desirable to a better quality woman based on your character, but in general, a man who's rich, 6'4", good looking, got a beard that connects and got the tattoos and got the look, but his character is shit. He's going to get way more women than a man with good character, but he's only 5'6", not attractive, works at CVS. He can have the man that working at CVS can have the greatest character, but it will never give them even a fraction of the results as the other guy. So I don't know if we can just add character in this and put character and desirability in the same sentence. That to me doesn't make any sense.
A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier
I agree with that.
Man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship.
Lead with love. I don't know what that means by lead with love. What the fuck does lead with love mean? You gotta lead with your head, and sometimes you can't allow love to dictate the decisions you make. You gotta have it be logic, because if you always led with love, sometimes love is gonna take you in a fucked up direction. And she's making it binary, love or dictatorship. No, it's logic, not dictatorship, not love, but logic.
Right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier.
I agree with that, but you can't control anybody. And I don't even think to even though I'm not a big fan of Mr. Cooley, I don't think that he was trying to insinuate that that he was trying to control a woman. But again, haven't seen the whole thing, so let's keep going.
Man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a top.
Sorry. So apparently this guy does. Okay, so he's going to dig into this. He's going to dig into this. So I'm only going to go over this clip until he starts going because I don't want to step on his commentary, obviously. And then yeah, so okay.
A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself.
Create space again. What does this mean? How come the woman doesn't already feel good about herself? How am I in control of how you feel about good about yourself? What see that's what I'm saying? Like, what is this? Like, this all sounds good. Well, you gotta, as a man, you gotta create the space and provide a safe environment for her to feel good about herself. Um, no, you're a grown woman. You should I'm not responsible for how you feel about yourself. I'm just not. I don't think that a man should put his woman down or to discourage his woman or to insult his woman or to attempt to crap on her self-esteem or to belittle her woman. Obviously. But at the same time, I'm not in charge of how she feels about herself. And I think that when men try to put themselves in a situation where they are in charge of how their woman makes them feel, then when a woman is not feeling good, she's automatically looking at the man and saying, well, what the fuck is wrong with my man that I still feel bad? When she probably has to do her own self work and self reflection to figure out why the fuck she feels that way. Um, Women have agency; they're responsible for their own shit. Okay, to a certain degree. So again,
a top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top
I agree with that. I think that what I agree with that, but it also has to be that has to be reciprocated. That has to be reciprocated because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that most men have a problem with supporting the dreams and the ideas of a woman. Now, the issue with that is that what does that look like? Because to her, it might look like by supporting the dreams of a woman means see let's take the word support, right? When here's just what I believe. This is just a theory. I think that when she's saying to support the dreams and ideas of a woman, I think that she's using support to mean financially support. Meaning, hey, baby, you got a dream of opening up your own restaurant. Here's the money to open up your own restaurant. Hey, you got dreams of opening your own business or your own nail salon. Here, I'm gonna buy the nail salon so that you can open up your own business. I'm gonna buy you the money. I'm gonna give you the LLC. I'm gonna invest in you, baby. That's what she probably means by support. When a man says I want a woman to support us, we're not talking about no fucking financially. We're talking about really just being there to give us encouragement, to give to speak life into us, to be around, to cook for us maybe while we're working on a business plan or while we're building up the brand or while we're working on the computer long hours and like when we're like somebody to rub our shoulders while we're working on a spreadsheet, like that's what we mean by support. I don't know if women think of those things as support. I think they just really mean financially support. So you have to take even some of the words that she's saying. It doesn't always mean what you think it means, right?
tier man prioritizes a woman.
A top tier man prioritizes a woman. What does that mean by prioritizes? Prioritizes over what? Because obviously you're going to prioritize a woman. Most men prioritize women in some way, shape, or form because we dress and go out there to approach y'all, to DM y'all on Instagram, to take y'all out, to make money to attract y'all and get our haircuts and get the grow our beards out and go in the gym. Like we prioritize. So what does that mean? Prioritize a woman. What does that mean? All this stuff sounds good, but it's so surface level. Like a lot of this doesn't really pass the sniff test, right? So what does that mean? Who the fuck is? I'm just tired of getting these notifications. All right.
Tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
The life of okay, so she is really so the problem with her whole paradigm of what she thinks a top tier man is that she's looking at at what a top tier man is through the lens of a woman and things that, like I was saying earlier, that primarily serve a woman to give her the life of her dream. Well, no, because this is going to sound a little chauvinistic. A quote unquote top tier man is trying to live the life that he wants to live in general, whatever that means, whether this is a man who has created a life where he's able to travel whenever he wants to, or a man who says, hey, I'm going to live in this nice neighborhood and build a house and build a family. Like, he has to create because this is his life. And his job when it comes to, or one of his jobs when it comes to selecting a woman, is selecting a woman that fits in to what it is that he wants to do. Because if he's the man, if he's this top tier man who's making this money, then a woman who is probably more than likely not going to be a breadwinner is going to have to slot in and fit into his direction if he's going to be the leader. It does like you can't say here's what doesn't make any fucking sense. You can't say I'm this top tier man, I'm the leader, but I'm going to create the life that she wants to and acclimate to her dreams, because her dream and your dream may not be more than likely the same dream. But if she's able to acclimate to what he is looking to do as a man, like in his direction, then more than likely she's going to be happy because she's going to be provided for. She's with the top tier man. He's a man who is going to prioritize her thoughts and feelings and going to try to create a good life for her. So this whole notion that you're trying to, as like, that's a piss poor idea to try to prioritize and try to give a woman the life of her dreams. No. And I don't even think it like a woman should try to. I don't even think it makes sense necessarily the other way of I'm gonna try to give the man the life of his. That doesn't. No. This whole notion that a man is there to try to keep. I'm against anything that involves you as a man attempting to try to make a woman happy. I'm gonna let y'all sit with that for like a few seconds. And I learned this from Will Smith and Jada. It's one of the few fucking things you could learn from these people. Meaning that happiness is an emotional state that it's impossible for you to constantly be happy, because the things that make you happy cannot make you happy for very long at all. If you buy someone a fucking Ferrari on Monday, right? They're going to be happy for a while. They're going to be happy about that Ferrari for a number of weeks, probably a month. But come 6 months and they go outside and look at their Ferrari, they're not as happy as they was on day 2 of having the Ferrari. And by year 3 of having a Ferrari, and that shit kind of breaks down, and they got to go take it to the Ferrari shop, and they got to pay $17,000 to fix a part, and all the stuff and the wear and tear of the car and shit like that. They're not going to be so that thing that you had initially is not gonna, so happiness is a state that is constantly it's futile to keep chasing that state. Now joy is a little bit different, because you can have joy in suffering. There's people who are in prison for life and still have joy. You know what I'm saying? Just it's joy is a different thing. I can't really get into it. However, so making yourself happy is a fruitless endeavor in a sense. I do believe that you should be happy in instances, and happiness kind of ebbs and flows. You're gonna be sad. You're gonna be, jealous and angry, and like, there's just certain Inside Out, the movie Inside Out taught us that all the emotions are important. Um, but you know, but to try to make someone else happy, and again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't give your woman or give your spouse gifts, or to attempt to provide some joy. I'm not saying that, but this mission, like, it is my duty to make my woman, and no, that I think that's just a recipe for disaster. So I think that this woman, she said some things that I've agreed with, and I've stated which things that I agree with, but a lot of this stuff is just kind of BS, man. I think she's done.
And with
But I
all that
digress.
stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk.
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
Oh boy, now she had to go with the low blows with the braids. I'm gonna have to do that hair video. Damn it, I'm one of these days I'm gonna do the hair video. I might just say fucking do it today. I'm gonna listen to about 30 seconds of this guy. Shout out to the controversial Shannon. I might put his link in my. I might do it. I might forget. Let's see what he says.
She read that boy good, didn't she?
Want to shut out the noise, turn off your brain, and wake up not feeling like.
Okay.
She read that boy good. That is the mindset of most women. Matter of fact, that's the mindset of most black women. Most black women are not looking for you to just be 6 feet, make a lot of money, and still be a I can't cuss, I don't want to curse, but butthole. You know what I'm trying to say. They're not looking for that, man. They're looking for a decent guy of character. Obviously, they want you to make some money.
Wait a second. He said obviously. Wait. So here's the thing about the whole 6'4" comment. 6'4" is just one part of the spectrum that we can accurately measure. That's basically just referring to attractive. But we use height because it's something that you can kind of measure. When it comes to like men who are facially attractive, even though there is an objective metric to how to measure a man's facial attractiveness, it's too complex for people to really hone in on, because there is a mathematical reason as to why Brad Pitt or Morris Chestnut is attractive and Flavor Flav isn't. Like, you can actually look at the face and do the measurements and realize, okay, that there's a reason to that. But let me not get into that. But so when we're talking about 6'4", has money but is a butthole, that's what he said. It's like, but those are things that women do want men that are attractive, though, sir. And on top of that, a man who's making good money. So it's funny that he said, well, you do got to make, like, this is kind of weird. This is a little double speaky, but let's rewind it a little bit. I might go over this guy a little bit. But it depends. If he starts to really kind of go off the rails, and again, shout out to this guy, shout out to him. I'm using his video. But let's dig in a little bit more.
And still be
hold on.
Make a lot of money. and still be I can't cuss, I don't want to curse, but butthole. You know what I'm trying to say. They're not looking for that, man. They're looking for a decent guy of character. Obviously, they want you to make some money. A woman should always be wanting their man to make some money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because why not?
If that's the case, then by that logic, the more money that you have, the more attractive that you will be. And generally speaking, that is true. He can't deny that. No one can.
You should. But honestly, a lot of these women can see right through y'all insecurities, and men and us real ones out here, we can see through y'all insecurities too, because we could tell that y'all was nothing in life, right? Y'all was nothing in life before you hopped on YouTube and started making money. Because when he said that, he is 6'4" and he makes well over 6 figures, so he's in the top, I guess 1% of men that are being chased around. How long have you been making 6 figures? Right? Was that before YouTube or after YouTube? Was that before the podcast?
I don't think that he's making. I'm going to be acting good faith here. I don't think that this man is making 6 figures off YouTube. He's not. I don't think he's making six figures off YouTube. I think if he's referring to this whole six figure thing, I think that he was probably doing something. What Here's what it probably it's probably similar to mediocre tutorials. And I've seen that guy, and he was working in like, I forget what he was. I don't know what he was working in, like finance or something like that. And then like you transitioning to doing more YouTube, but more than likely he was probably making good money, and then did the YouTube on the side, and then as that grown, you get to do that more. So very few people are making six figures on YouTube. Very fucking few.
As after the podcast, because y'all gotta understand, it is men out here that are broke that can get any woman they want because they got it like that.
That's not true. That's not true. You can't. That's what I'm saying. Like a black men, whenever we have these, we talk about this shit. It's like we talking like very hyperbolic. Now, if you're talking about a dude who looks like, again, like a Morris Chestnut or something like that, and he's broke, then maybe he can get any girl he wants to, maybe. But like, oh man. Okay. And what does he got it like that mean? See how we just use stuff, we just say things, and it just doesn't really doesn't really hold any water. It's as empty as this damn bottle right here. Like, what does that mean?
It is men that walk around out here on a daily basis, and they don't have to leave with their pockets or nothing, and they just step outside and they got women looking for them, looking at them.
And why is that? There's always a reason, but knowing how black folks be operating, we gonna go make it be vibes and confidence and all these things that you can't really measure or assess.
Want to see what's up. It's men that just got it like that. Some of you guys,
said it again, got it like that. What does it mean?
Guys weren't nothing in life until you hopped on YouTube and start making a podcast with the red pill up your butt. And when she said ain't no woman in her circle looking for a 6'4" man with braids, leave the braids alone, man. Braids are back in style. Leave us alone, okay? Leave us alone. See, because I'm 6 feet, right? Leave us alone. Oh, she said he over 30. Man, I'm just saying, like the point that I'm making is a lot of these women can see through your insecurities, and we can see through them too, bro. Y'all be thinking that y'all really, that this is all the woman wants. It's just for.
What does see-through insecurities mean? A lot of these stuff, I'm like, okay, what is, like, I just wish people would kind of dig in a little bit more. And here's what I mean by see-through insecurities. Women will be with guys. Here's what astonishes me. Here's something that's astonishing. I don't know many men who are as grown men, get angry and punch windows, punch walls, punch TVs, and lay their hands on the women that they're with. I don't know many guys that do that in my circle. But when I talk to a lot of these women, and this is not just black women, just women in general, they will be with, and they'll talk about, yeah, I was with my boyfriend, and he put me through the wall, or he was punching the door, and he broke the door, and he broke this, and he threw a tantrum, and blah blah blah. I don't, but so men who do that tend to be insecure, tend to have a lot of problems, but those men have women oftentimes. Hell, back when I lived in Hollywood, and I'm not gonna get into it, but the next door neighbor was a woman who lived there, and her boyfriend he damn near gave her a concussion, and guess what? After the police got called by yours truly, that man was still back in the damn apartment. Nothing had changed. So I guess my point is that you're talking about women see through these insecurities and see through the bullshit, or to some degree. It's like, well, what does that matter if they still end up with guys who obviously have insecurities anyway? So insecurities doesn't seem to be the thing that prevents a man from getting women, apparently.
For a man to make a lot of money and be over 6 feet, a woman is looking for a decent man of character.
If that's true, then why? Okay, here's what I'm saying. Like, this man has to be. If what he's saying is true, And especially if you're talking about black women, if what he's saying is true, then why are there so many black women who are single mothers? It's like 70% that are single. Single motherhood rate is very, very high, right? Women will talk. Just think about it, you guys. And I want this guy, if he's watching my channel, I'm gonna probably put his stuff, his info in there. I probably would now. If what he's saying is true, we hear often women, specifically black women, complain about how men are not in their children's lives. If women were truly looking for and honing in on a man who has character, then why would they be procreating with men who apparently leave their children? That would indicate that that man doesn't have strong character. And don't give me the whole, well, he was a charlatan, he was an actor, he he switched up on me. But then but since you are able to sense through insecurities and shit, you should have been able to sense that out. Which one is it? It's just not adding up.
And the best character that you can imply to your life is that of character like Jesus Christ. If you ain't leading with the character of Jesus Christ,
That's why I 100% agree.
you ain't really got no character, in my opinion. Because he's the best example of a man, since he was 100% man and 100% God. That's my opinion. You don't have to subscribe to it. You don't have to believe it, but him in all situations. I don't understand why y'all be thinking that y'all the most admired man out here. That's not all women are looking for, is money and your height. Is there a such thing as preferences? Yes. Every woman is gonna have their have preferences.
Okay.
Gold standard.
I don't think I'm gonna go into it too much. I think I kind of got what I wanted out of that video. But look, y'all, please like and subscribe if you want more content, and I'll be back at you very soon.